Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another episode of our series of interviews with professional coaches from all over Australia. So as you know, I'm interviewing coaches from a variety of backgrounds and who have specific coaching niches that help them really help their clients transform their lives. So tonight I'm very pleased to introduce and welcome Sally Sparks Cousins, aka Sally Sparkles, who is joining me tonight. So Sally's vision is to empower women to be more, do more, and have more, which I just freaking love. And so let's kick it off with who is Sally and why does Sally coach?
Oh, so Sally loves to coach women, and I focus only on female entrepreneurs, and I coach because I found my niche is the middle-aged to older women who are either becoming empty nesters, or they've got teenage kids, or they've been working in corporate for a really long time, and they realize there has to be more to life than making somebody else rich, but not having a passion or a drive. They've gotten past being a mum, and they're trying to discover their passion again, or as we call in my world, their inner sparkle. So I love to help women find their inner sparkle, but then also something that they feel as though they can contribute. So their inner sparkle has to be a viable business option as well. So as well as finding their inner sparkle, which could be numerous things, one of those little sparkles inside of them will actually be a viable business option. And from there, I help them gain the confidence in themselves to believe that they're allowed to charge for what they do, help them through fear of failure, help them through, feeling as though they've got to ask permission to do everything. And it's not all women, but a lot of women have that, man and woman kind of role. I know I dealt with it a lot. Mother's guilt. And I got out the other side. I've always been an entrepreneur, but I worked because I had to work in corporate. And then when I discovered my inner sparkle, even though I've jumped from a few different kind of entrepreneurial roles, everything has kind of led one thing into the next thing quite well. And I just want other women to be able to embrace that you don't have to work for somebody else. You can work for yourself and love it. And I've been so inspired by the women that I've helped to find their inner sparkle. Like, I have women who've come to me and gone, Sally, I make heat packs. I've got a really sore shoulder and I can't do it anymore, but I don't know what my sparkle is. And now this woman is running the largest vendor events or, markets in Tasmania, is known as like the biggest Etsy market organizer in Tasmania, loves them, thrives on them, has, tens of thousands of people through the gates at her markets. And from somebody who came to me and saying, I make heat packs, help me find my inner sparkle. So I have all of these series of going back through your history, all the things you've been through, ups and downs, and finding that thing that when you think about it, you can't sleep at night. And that's usually it. And then we've got to make sure it's a viable business option as well.
I get my 10:30 p.m. inspiration and I'm up again on my computer. I know I'm doing the right thing.
That's it. But I guess, some of us get lost, and I've had clients coming in and I know what they should be working on, but they've got to find it themselves. So I had one client that come in and, I paint and I play music and I do lots of things, but there's a certain thing in my business that I do that makes me money. So one client came in and she's like, I love making cards and playing with paper crafts, and no matter how much, and she used to tell me about how she loved exercising, and she always talked about personal coaching, but I hinted to her a few times, but she was adamant it was going to be a card business. And then this year she's come back to my school again and she's like, I'm definitely being a personal coach. And I'm like, see my notes from like a year ago that I've highlighted, personal coach, but you had to get there yourself. So, there are those business models that we wish we could do, but sometimes they're not as easy or as viable. So I try to kind of point them, but also they've got to find it themselves. And she did say to me the other day that if she hadn't done what she had done in the last 12 months, she probably wouldn't appreciate what she's doing now for, following that the real inner sparkle that I always knew she had.
So that leads me to, I guess, the biggest question is, for you touched a little bit on your career and your journey. What was the deciding aha moment where you went, I need to be a coach, I need to be doing this?
Yeah. It kind of went from one job, like a JOB, into another, which eventually kind of turned into a coach. Like I was already sort of coaching anyway. So when I was teaching in TAFE and unis, and I was doing like vet subjects, and I was teaching the vet students coming through. So that's those that come and do like graphic design, marketing, photography. They would come through me. And the students that really interested me the most that would come to learn graphic design would be the ones that would go, don't think I like this. And I would be, okay, so let's have a conversation. Let's find out a little bit more about you, what lights you up inside, and let me help and steer you in another direction of, paths you could take. Or I'd go out and do research of places that they could go to learn more and to really kind of follow that. So that started. And then I had back surgery and I ended up stuck in bed for like 3 months. And always trying to find something to do. And I fell across network marketing. And I don't know, it has that kind of, connotation that comes with it. Oh my God, that crazy network marketing person trying to sell me something. But it was pretty nails. It was bright, colorful, kind of arty. I could mix and match them and I could do them in my bed. Mm-hmm. So I ended up growing a team from my bed, and I ended up being the number one team builder in all of Australia and New Zealand. And I was a 5th team manager in Australia and New Zealand. And then went up to win awards overseas and on stage. And anyway, what I found in that role was it wasn't the selling of the product that I liked. It was inspiring the women that would come in to join my team to be more confident, to really believe in themselves. I truly believe that a network marketing company is just a personal development company in disguise. That's what it is.
I love it.
And then after doing that for a few years, I was starting my Sparkle Class Academy on the side. And had sort of lots of followers starting to come in. Really, I was working my marketing strategies really, really well, and then decided that the network marketing company wasn't big enough. I wanted to inspire the world. So, some things happened. I decided to resign and went full-time back at the end of 2017, so just over 2 years ago, in the Sparkle Class Academy, and have been mentoring, more mentoring than coaching in the beginning. I thought it was coaching until I really kind of got into it. I got burnt out because I'm a feeler, right? And when I was coaching, I was feeling with them. I was sitting in the hole with them. And after, a year and a half of that, I ended up burning out from constantly being and feeling. So I ended up thinking, okay, now I need to learn, I'm a teacher and a mentor. I need to learn the skill properly to coach, to actually learn how to do it and learn that disconnection and how to do it properly without kind of saying, like I've had coaches teach me to coach, but actually having proper structures and I'm one who wants scientific evidence-based stuff as well. I don't like, I hate just saying stuff and hoping that you're going to come up with the answer. Like I wanted, a particular methodology to follow. So I wanted it to be a legit coaching business. So yeah, I kind of started out, I used to call myself a coach in the early days. Then I just changed it to a mentor because I felt really bad because I didn't have a piece of paper. And then I'm like, I've got the teacher credentials, got the bit of paper for all of that. I just need to add the coaching thing on it. So it was kind of a progression through all of these different roles where I think I've always done it. Even when I was in high school, I was that one that people would come to and cry on your shoulder. I've just, always been that way. A lot of my friends, when they're going through divorces or having a hard time, they end up on my doorstep because it's just, I don't know, I've just been naturally attracted to always wanting to help people.
Yeah, absolutely. And you obviously have a way of making people feel really safe, and you know, and there's a layer of trust and a layer of care that comes from you to them. You know, it's interesting you say that because, you know, right from high school, my friends always called me Mother Duck. You know, and because we would all go out on the town, and I would be like constantly counting all my friends to make sure we were still together, and, you know, making sure everyone was okay and was safe, and, you know, all of that stuff. And I think that, you know, they're kind of innate characteristics of people who follow this path, because we have a deep rooted care and compassion for people. We want to see people living their best lives.
I think, yeah. And for me, in reflection, and I've done a lot of reflecting over the last 2 years, especially because we've had some things happen in our family. On reflection, things that happened to me when I was younger and, you know, going through trauma and PSD, which I've only dealt with in my 40s, that I think those traumas and hard times made me a tougher, stronger, but also a more compassionate, understanding and caring person. And I tend to not let shit get to me very easily because I've been through hard times. I do find that the more trauma and hard times somebody's been through, the more compassionate and stronger they are. But I never negate anybody else's, like I call it their scale, you know, like to me, you know, I've lost a son. I've been through some really bad experiences. So my 10 trauma setting's pretty high, right? But I don't expect somebody else to understand that if they haven't been through it. So their 10 might be losing a job. To me, losing a job would be like, well, I'm still alive. But to other people, you know, so I always, when I'm speaking to people, gauge their own particular like level that they're at. And their 10, to me, it doesn't matter where my 10 is. It matters where their 10 is. What is that thing that makes them peak and get, you know, extremely anxious or upset? So, yeah.
So you work predominantly with women who, you know, are wanting to start their businesses or create some kind of, you know, business or proposition for themselves. So what are some of the common challenges that you find that consistently pop up for you when you're working with your clients?
Yeah, overwhelm is a huge one because there are so many choices out there that everybody says they should be doing in business, and they're always chasing the next shiny ball. The shiny ball chasers, you know, I call it the emotional cycle of being an entrepreneur. You get really excited about something and then eventually something goes wrong. So you get frustrated. Literally something goes wrong every day in business. I say I'm in the business of problem solving. Things break in my marketing funnels, emails go out wrong, clients cancel, I lose a $10,000 client, like things go wrong on a daily basis. To me, it's like, hi, problem. You've come to visit me today. I'm just expecting it. But so many people don't. And so I really focus on the emotional cycle of sales or marketing or being an entrepreneur. So you start in excitement, you move through to frustration when something goes wrong. And then inevitably frustration breeds doubt. So you start to doubt yourself. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Is it worth the hassle? Should I be struggling like this? You know, it's not as easy as I thought. So what happens once you move into doubt, you then move from doubt into one of my most favorite phases called creative avoidance. Now, as a designer and an artist, I love the name of this phase. But creative avoidance is where we do things to make ourselves feel busy, but we're not actually doing things on our business. Like, oh, I can't do it because I've got to pick up the kids, or I can't do it because the pantry needs to be cleaned, or there's a pile of washing. So we keep busy, or we're constantly surfing through social, but we're not doing like growth activities or things moving us forward that we should be doing because we're doubting ourselves. So when people are in creative avoidance, this is the defining moment where you will know if somebody is emotionally intelligent enough to recognize that they're in creative avoidance. Now, if they don't, they'll move into, and this is where I don't want my clients to go, excuse making. They move to excuses and they use other people or situations or circumstances as an excuse for why they can't keep following their business and their dreams and their passion. And what they do when they're in excuse mode, they find another shiny ball and they go and join a network marketing company or start a new business or build another marketing funnel because the first one didn't work. They didn't want to go back and try and fix it. They just want to go and do something new because that shiny ball makes them feel excited again. So where I get my clients in creative avoidance, they then need to move back to recommitment instead of going off into excuses. Now, sometimes it can be super simple to move back into recommitment. You land that $5,000 client, yay, I'm excited again. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that. And you've got to dig through your gratitude jar and remind yourself why it is that you do what you do. You've got to go and watch your why video that I make you make. You've got to go and, find a way to get yourself excited again. And that's being emotionally intelligent and aware of where you are at in the cycle. So that's sort of the one thing that I find the biggest struggle. And the other one I deal with is the overwhelm on not knowing what programs to choose because, God, there are so many programs out there that do the same thing, right? So I teach people what to do, what order to do it. And if they don't like looking at sexy numbers like I do, because I love it, that's cool. Bring them to me. Let me work them out until you know how to read them yourself. But until then, let me look at them because that's one of my genius zones. Yeah. That's one of my sparkles. So I can take the overwhelm out of knowing if your marketing strategies are working or not working by looking at your numbers for you. So there's sort of the two emotional side that we all deal with. And then there's the overwhelm of running a business. It's not as simple as, putting a post on Facebook and expecting everyone to chase you. You literally have to have marketing strategies. Like, do McDonald's make the best burgers in the world? I think not. There could be a guy down the road that makes the best burgers, but he doesn't market himself and no one knows about him. You could have the most crappiest product and make a packet if you can market yourself the right way. So that's kind of a philosophy that I've really lived by is, marketing and selling is not scary. It's helping. Selling is helping people because if you sell to somebody, then you can help them. It has nothing to do with being icky, sleazy, salesy, or gross. It's helping people. If I can put food on my table and help people at the same time, I'm living the dream.
Yeah. That's amazing. And, so much of what you just said makes so much sense, right? So, I really appreciate you sharing that with us and with our viewers. So, the final question I wanted to ask, because you clearly are super passionate about what you do, which, I love. I get that. I totally get that. And so what does it mean for you to be able to do what you do and to be able to help the people that you help and have, I haven't given it a shout out, but you've got, 100,000+ viewers or followers and groupies. So, like you're clearly having an inspiration moment and people are inspired by you. You have a voice, people are listening. What does it mean to you to be able to influence the way that you do?
Oh, it gets me emotional to think about, like, there's so many things I want to be able to do for the female entrepreneurs. Like, we're looking at starting a charity soon to help fund entrepreneurial journeys and things. It's a little bit of a thing we've got in the pipeworks at the moment. But seeing women achieve, so from a point of view of helping, I get goosebumps and I cry all the time when my clients are making more money than me. Like, I want them to make more money than me. It shows that what I do is working, and them to, like, some of my clients couldn't even put their face in front of a camera when I first met them. And now they're like going live daily, because this is your logo, baby. if you're helping people, they're looking at you. This is your logo. Don't go and spend thousands of dollars on a logo. Like, literally be that person walking down the street and they go, oh, you're that sparkle lady. Like, walking marketing billboard right here, you know. And I used to be the girl behind the camera, you know, never used to put myself in front of the camera. But how can I influence and help people? Get uncomfortable, put myself out there, you know, step through that fear, because that's where the good shit happens. When you get so fucking scared, that's when the good stuff starts to come out. My daughter hates it, but like, I'm just get uncomfortable until you feel comfortable again, and then find something else to get uncomfortable. But to me, that, and then also my business to me is about funding a lifestyle, not like, you know, $1 billion business. If I can pay for my conferences, I can travel, I can see my clients. When my clients come to me, I can pour wine and spoil them. That's success. You know, being able to share the Sparkle love, being able to share the success as well with the rest of the Sparkle community. You know, every year we have a little tiny conference for us and all of our little Sparkle sisters, and they fly in from all over the place. So rewarding to have them in a room, and having them standing up and teaching as well, because I want, like, my clients are coaches, consultants, healers, and course creators. That's my niche. And so they're all teaching people something. So I want them to have the opportunity to teach inside of my community, because then might land their next client.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. And so where is the best place for people to connect with you? So if people have fallen in love with you like I have, and they want to reach out and they want to connect with you and they want to become part of the Sparkle Academy and they want to be a part of that amazing Sparkle community, where do they go and what do they need to do?
Okay, so my website is sparkleclassacademy.com. So you can go there and see the programs that we teach. But if you want to follow me and all my crazy antics, then you head to Facebook, .com/Sally Sparks Cousins. And I have a free community group called Sparkle Suite. So we're running a 3-day challenge in there at the moment. Every month we run different little challenges. So we're doing a course creation challenge this month. I think next month we're doing a branding challenge. So we run lots of free training in there as well to share the Sparkle love.
I love it. I love it. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And
you're welcome.
Reach out and become, new sparklers and find their sparkle, because, life with a little bit more sparkle can't be a bad thing.
All right. Everything sparkles in my world, baby. Everything.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, and I hope people have appreciated getting to know you like I have, and reach out accordingly. All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.